So a phrase that I heard Chris Collinsworth said that Belichick uses on the Sunday night broadcast for players who are really, really good, he calls them a problem. They're a problem. That's what he said. Matt Judon was a problem when he was on the Ravens. So one way that he solved it is
sign him.
he signed him. But a problem. I just like that phrase, a problem, because it's the highest praise you can get from Belichick is that you're causing me to have a bad day, make me think, and challenge me to beat you. And it's not insurmountable as well. So, because in the NFL, nothing's a certainty, and obviously a great start does not mean that you're going to the Super Bowl. That said, all that together, the number one problem so far in the NFL, the problem for others, are the Arizona Cardinals. That team appears to be a problem, a big problem. They've got the MVP quarterback that could be his nickname, the problem. He's because he's solving, and you're guessing. And Kyler Murray is a problem when he drops back. Number of times that he evaded the rush from the Rams yesterday. I mean, he didn't get in the end zone. The Rams kept him out of the end zone with his legs, which is the first time he didn't score on the ground this year. But he would just absolutely extend plays. And then the problem as well is that DeAndre Hopkins, let's say you're erasing him with Jalen Ramsey or Patrick Peterson, as the Rams and Vikings tried to do and essentially have done. That's A.J. Green now with a chip on his shoulder.
Who looks healthy.
That's Christian Kirk. That's Rondale Moore. That kid from Purdue can play football, man. Problems. Max Williams. The tight ends are catching footballs now. J.J. Watt is on a defensive line with Chandler Jones. Problems. James Conner and Chase Edmonds at running back. Chase Edmonds is a problem when he comes out of the backfield and when he can run it out of the backfield. And James Conner is now battering ramming people. He had two on the ground. Problems from the Arizona Cardinals. Especially since in the NFC West, they didn't expect this one. If you asked any of them. Rams, Niners, getting healthy. You got also clearly the Seahawks, big win for them in San Francisco. Problems because the Cardinals are 4-0 and they're no fluke. The issue with the Cardinals last year that also appears to be solved this year. It has certainly helped that the Vikings missed a game-winning field goal with the final gun. But the Cardinals last year, anybody will tell you if you watched a lot of Cardinals games last year or you had a bunch of their fantasy players, third and fourth quarter, the play calling would suddenly get out of sync. Murray would get out of sync. I mean, ever since the Hail Murray beat the Bills, the final games last year, they just couldn't put it together after halftime.
Murray was hurt too last year. A little shoulder
Of course. I understand that. But it just didn't work. It just, whatever worked in the first 2/3 of the season just poof, disappeared. And obviously Murray's health, that will be something you keep an eye on because as much of a problem that he is, he's not your 6'4" guy standing back there taking hits.
I mean,
but he doesn't take a lot of hits.
Yeah.
He is a problem to stop and put down on the ground. He's a problem to defend. And now the weapons around him are problems for everybody. I just want to say, and so far they have been finishing games, and they finished off the Rams fast yesterday.
By running the football.
That thing was done just after halftime. And that loud building, you could hear a bunch of times, like, whose house? And like 3 people saying Rams house. Like, it was a totally different vibe in that building. They took the air out of SoFi. That was fast. Now, this is the great thing about the NFC West. Next time Rams see them, they could beat the crap out of them. I think they're just going to be a round robin of crap beating. That's your NFC West this year. And I can't wait. And kudos to the NFL, man, schedule makers. Round robin contest this week. Next week, more round robins. 2 days from now, Rams at Seahawks, who always play incredible football games together. Always. And then, again, I imagine they're not going to put Jimmy G out there this week if he's taking an MRI today on a calf injury that was going into his Achilles. Trey Lance versus Kyler Murray. Something we're going to be seeing for a very long time, twice a year. Oh, man. First career start, tough defense to go against because that defense is much improved as well. Arizona has been much improved, and Cliff Kingsbury is coaching his head off, and it's all working right now. But this is one of those games, too. San Francisco coming in, don't want to get too far behind. Already 2 games back. But the Cardinals are a problem, to say the least. Oh, baby. And how about this? Yeah, I mean, are you going to one and done the quarterback you drafted 10th overall for this guy, Kyler Murray? Remember that question?
Yep.
How's that question look like right now?
It's like MVP.
Yep. Oh, boy. He has just been stupendous and getting better every year. And Steve Keim has added more weapons around him. A.J. Green, man. That's A.J. Green. It's not like A.J. Green is like, on his last legs. He's 38. He's trying to get some. No. That's A.J. If A.J. Green shows up like A.J. Green and he's the 2, and they got a 2-headed monster at running back, and they got 2 other wide receivers, and Murray's being the problem, great start for Arizona. Great start. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.